And so therefore, we would have to, Daddy would either carry us to Sandfly to catch a school bus. And we rode the school bus to Haven Home School, and this is where I met all my friends out there. And you know, at school from the age of 7 and through high school after we finished high school in 1961. Then we went to Haven Home, Saul C. Johnson. And by going to Saul C. Johnson, but but first we had double section at Beach because Johnson was being in the process of being built in 1959. And so we went I said we went to Beach from 12 to 5 in the afternoon, half a day. And when I started at Beach, they found that I lived in the area where Sandfly, White Bluff, and Pinpoint, all of them was considered as the east side, was considered as the children that would go to Johnson. And that's why I ended up over at Johnson. Because they split us, because everybody from Grove Pine and Fort Guy Road and Taylorville, they all went to Beach. And so we were split up as we got into the 9th grade and going to Haven Home. going to Saul. Because Saul Johnson was built in 1959, and it was like I said up until the thing. And then, as I said, as a child, it was my brother, my cousin, and I. We were the 3 children that walked from Countryside Drive all the way to Sandfly to catch a school bus. And so that was a long way, and that was a muddy road. It's country area. And see, now you look at it today, it's all built up, and it's different now. So that's how it began my life, meeting with everybody, in White Bluff, like that. So what else you want me to say?
All right, let me just do so we can introduce you. Today is January 20th, 2023. This is Kelly Zakovic representing the City of Savannah Municipal Archives. I'm interviewing Doris Brown for the Savannah Community Memory Project, and we are conducting this interview at the Crusader Community Club. Ms. Brown has been telling us about going to school at Saul C. Johnson and Haven Home.
The Haven Home was the original Haven Home. And see now, the Haven that's in Taylorville are the little baby. So we were the older ones, the original ones that came from Haven Home, and then after we left, because Haven Home only went from 1st through 9th grade. And after it was toned down, that's where Bartley is built at now. And so therefore that's like that, because if you ride down Montgomery Cross Road on the right hand side, you will see that plaque of the school. And up there was we had the Flax family living on one side as you making your turn going to the mall down House Memorial. The Flax family lived on one side. And then the Brown family lived across in front of Haven Home, in front of where Bartley at now. And as we were children, on the side of Haven Home were the workshop for the boys, and in school we had home ec and amic for the girls, and that's where we had that. And then we like I said, we rode the bus. And a lot of the children fathers drove the school bus. Sidney Baptiste and Jack Mack and Mr. Branch, and those were the school bus drivers. And then like we had November. He drove the buses back. But he drove. They each one had their own children that they carried at Pinpoint and White Bluff. Sandfly. Those different bus drivers, T-Hound, that carried us from Haven Home like that. But like I say now, we would catch Mr. November, either Jack McBus and ride as far is up there on the other side where of Sam's at the crossroad. In front of Speedwell Church, there was a little grocery store there. That's where we caught the bus at. And then, like I said, now we walked now. He was walking. And we got off the bus. Then we had to walk down that little side street, which was the old streetcar track. And we walked down there. And then, as we were going, out there was a community where people, you know, like right now, it's instant. If you were working at a store or either at a school cafeteria, you said, "Come on, children, and have a cookie, have some milk, or something before we got to our destination at home," like that. So that's how the community were. They would always share. And here I got the year there are Haven Homeschool friends. This is the year I met my classmates from White Bluff School, White Bluff. And from the age, from White Bluff, September the 7th, 1947 to 1961. The school life is the best life. Anyone who has been a student knows what school life is all about. It is the golden period of our learning and the meeting new classmates, girls and boys. I loved school growing up. I am a proud product of Haven Homeschool, and Saul C. Johnson were the class of 1961. We had a wonderful, dedicated teachers from the first through high school. My classmates were the whole family, the Brandon family, the Baptiste family, the Milton family, the Mack family, and the Mumford family, and also, I'll probably get on there. And there's another. And anyway, those were the best days. Like I say, you know, and oh yeah, the wages right here. And now we are still together by God's grace. I thank God, thank Him for our wonderful time that we all had in school together. And now we still are eating together at the center, which is the Crusader Center, for lunch. And like I said, it's just taking us back, you know. Here I am, 81 years old, and so, you know, at 7 years old to now, that's a great blessing.
Some lifelong friendships.
Yes, and so just like when we was in school, we had beautiful teachers. They taught us a lot. And see, now today, the children do not have home economic. The guys do not know how to go and say, "I'm going to build a little bench," or whatever, because we had men that worked, teachers that taught into that. And then like the teacher, like we had the homemaking classes. We learned how to sew. We learned how to make up beds. They taught us things about. They taught us some things about how to become nurses if we want to be nurses. They had us, you know, they had a bed, and then you know, students would get in the bed and you know, like the other nurses, and we know how to. We learned how to fold the sheets, the envelope style. You know how to do the envelope style, don't you?
Oh, like in the bed, like bed sheets?
Yeah, like you making your bed up.
Uh-huh.
You put the bottom sheet on first, then you put the top sheet on, and then you take the corners and you fold it, and you tuck it under the sheet, and on both ends. That's the order. Just like I said, if you go home, you say, "I'm gonna make my bed up," and you're gonna make sure that the corners is tucked under, because why? Your feet will not come out.
Mm-hmm.
And so even like your blanket, you do the same way. Then if you take your spread and lay it across it, then you know, hey, it's not thick. And sometimes you can take your spread and kind of tuck it under, because why? You have the ruffles now to show at the bottom. And like I said, it was a joyful thing of learning. And then like I said, you must realize that our first school is at home with our parents. Because you know they're gonna get a piece of paper and they're gonna write down ABCs, teach you how to say A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, and a P. So therefore, like I said, my parents always taught charity begins at home, then it spreads abroad and stuff. So then, like I said, this is what everything is. But now you don't have the big mamas and them aunties and grandmamas no more, because they're all gone. And see, the children now, they don't have that time. They go to kindergarten, because see, back during my time, they didn't have no kindergarten. You was taught at home and, you know, and at church and Sunday school. So this is what, you know, it's all about, learning from each other and stuff. So, you know, like I said, in our class, the teacher will teach us how to can food. And stuff, you know, like how you do the vegetables, how you do this, and say that you don't pour the juice off the vegetable, because that's where your vitamins and everything is in that, like that. You know, some people say I pour it off and rinse the beans off before I cook it, but no, the vitamins gone down the sink. And then during that time when I was a child, we had pump. We had a big pump down in the, you know, the big pipe that you put in, and you see, and you had to pump it, and then therefore that the water is coming out. And that's what you had. We had lamp lights. We didn't have electric lights. Then you had the candle lights and the lamps, and also you had candles. And so, because see, back during that time, the lights wasn't made until I think about the latter part of the 50s, when we had lights out there.
Oh, wow.
And well, I look and say Nottingham or Barney Bell or whatever thing, but that was the name of it. And then, like I said, we walked there back and forth, and then the only way we went to a grocery store, we had a grocery store on the corner of La Roche. You know, on Livingston thing, that corner, you coming into your area.
Yeah.
That's where the store was at, the grocery store.
Okay.
And Daddy would walk down there before he had a car, and had to, you know, carry groceries on his back, because like a sack, you know, put it on his back and bring groceries home. And see, and my mother, she wasn't a well person. That's why I tell children, thank God for your parents, because all parents don't, you know, if you have a sick mother, you have to do the best you can and stuff. Like I said, through God's grace and mercy, it was great that my father did all, you know, he taught me how to take care of my sisters and brothers. And see, I'm the oldest of all four of us, which I have a brother just deceased about a year ago, about 3 years ago, closely. And like I said, so I was more like the mama to my sisters and them, so that's how that worked and stuff. So, you know, and like I said, we had a beautiful life. Daddy was a painter, and through his friends from the Sandfly, like the Grant family, Honey Grant, Charlie Reese, and all, and they all was brothers. You know, they helped each other. If one didn't have something, the next person has something. They will always have something to help you raise your children. We had chickens, we had hogs, we had dogs, everything. So like I say, you know, and we had to cut wood. So now, you know, the only thing that you go and with the wood now, you can go to Kmart, Walmart, Sam's, and buy the wood that's already cut. But during that time, we had to cut it ourselves, pump water. I had washed clothes in a tub, on a rubber boat, and stuff. It's from that same pump. we had 3 tubs, one to wash in, one to rinse in, and one to bleach in. And then outside you had a boiling pot, like the put thing, the clothes in.
Mm-hmm.
And then I watched my grandmother. She used to make soap, which you call lye soap. That she used the potash and the grease. Like the grease that you cook, like the frying chicken or fish or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then she would boil in that pot, and then it, at a certain stage, and then it would when it got hard, hard, she would cut it off in blocks, and so therefore you could scrub your floors. I had to scrub floors on my knees. I guess why I can't walk now today, 'cause by kneeling down, scrubbing and everything. So like I said, we and like I said, most of everybody. Then we didn't have no bathroom. Daddy had to build a house, a little, say similar to that right there. Take this, similar to that cabinet. That was like a toilet. And then you had 2 little seats, 2 little holes in it. You sat on, Ava had one. And then you didn't have you didn't have toilet paper. You had the Savannah morning news. And you'll always be reading the Blondie and Dagwood or something. But you sitting there talking, and then then you had to rub it together to make it for soft to wipe your tushy with. So like I said, and we only had 4 rooms, and we had Dad and Mama had their rooms, and then the sisters had the one room, and we shared with our brother. He slept on a little cart, and then we slept in the bed. 2 girls to the head and 2 to the top.
Oh.
So therefore, this is how we have lived, and so now we can say thank God for what we have now, because it's a great blessing. As I live in the house now, I have 3 bedrooms, which I only use 2 because I use one as a dining room. And I can flip the lights. I got a bathroom in my room, and I got a bathroom in the other room, and stuff like that. So therefore, you look back over your life and say, God has been good to all of us that came this way.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff. So, and then, like I said, we went to Sunday school. Daddy was the superintendent of the Sunday school for 35 years.
Of what church?
Fairmount Baptist Church. And that church was located in the Saxville area on the corner of 58th and Waters. And you're familiar with that area, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's where that church was, and it was there until they moved it to at the present location at 721 East Bolden Street. So that's where that church originated from there.
Okay.
And so that's where we went to Sunday school. And like I said, it was just a great childhood experience. Like the song said, take me back. Where I first, we just go walking back down memory lane. And this is where the purpose of us being here today together is to flex back on our history of our life. And from the family that we grew up with, and, people and stuff. Because like I said, I worked. When I came home this afternoon, there was a lady that lived in Bonnie Berry area on Barnhill Drive. I used to keep her children and stuff, because when she had her little babies, and I learned a lot in her house. I learned how to shell peas, which we had a garden. They had planted a garden in the yard, and across the street, the road, well, to say back when we went down the road, he would have a big garden. And then this man that lived down the road from us, he had a horse and wagon. So Daddy would get him to come and tilt the land, plow up the weeds and everything. Then later on, Daddy would go out there and he would, cultivate it, get his little push plow and pull up all the roots and the grasses or whatever in the ground. So therefore, when people say, you need to go to this place and go to the YMCA and watch them plant a garden. I know the way that we were taught, how we raised gardens, vegetables. They had okra, tomatoes, corn, sugar cane planted in a bank, potatoes you planted in the bank, arch potatoes, and sweet potatoes, all that was planted in a bank and stuff like that, so like I said, and then he did cabbage and everything. And then like I said, we had chicken, we had eggs, chicken running around in the yard, I was scared of them. And then when you got ready to do the chickens, like you said you was gonna kill them to eat, you had to build a pen and put them in a pen. That means you give them food that will clean up their system in order for you to eat. And then they did the hogs the same way. They would build a pen and put them up there, and that was, to clean their system out. And from before you kill them, and then I watched my dad and him and Reverend Reese. They would dig a hole and put a barrel in it with water. Build a fire under that, and put that barrel there and put water. That was in order to clean the hole with, because they had to scrape all the hair off the hole and thing. And then after that, they did that. They would take them, in order to they would take a corn cob and put in their mouth. The whole mouth, so like that. And then they would, dissect them now, you call it, and split them out, and then they take out their, intestines, which they call now chitlins. and they take the head and make whole head cheese out of it, and the tongue and stuff like that. And like I said, those are the things that we have grew up with. But now people don't do that. In order for the hogs to be cured, that meat to be cured, we used to have a smokehouse and put the meat in there to be smoked. Even not that, it would go on Louisville Road to Madden Brothers. And that was the smokehouse. And then when it had it smoked, then you can go back and get your meat and stuff. So, that's the life that I have lived. And now like I said, you can go to different places, you can go to Sam's and buy the big quantity of this and that and everything, but I know how to can food. Because we taught that, it was taught at Haven Home. How to get the mason jars and sterilize them and put your corn and all your things in that and your jar and stuff. And then back during the time we was in school, we had lunch, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, bologna. But all the young people that went to school along with me, the Max, the Mumford, the Lamberts, and all of the whole, we carried lunch from home and had it in a little brown bag and stuff. And then when we sat to the table, we would always share. And, like you said, well, would you like to have a piece of my sandwich? Or something, like a thing we share. So
after you guys graduated, how did you guys keep in touch over the years?
Okay, Catherine Mumford. Well, she was Catherine Mack after she got married. I would always call her, because Catherine and I met in the 6th grade together. And we've been in 6th grade up until we finished high school. I would call her. I said, Catherine, have you heard from? I said, have you seen Sally? Well, Sally don't live anymore. Everybody got married and they went different directions. After they got out of high school, everybody went their separate ways. And so I would ask about Sally. I would ask about Leola and Rika, which is Frances, and things. Mariella, which she's deceased, and we call her Bootsy. And so therefore we would all Catherine was my contact person. And stuff, because see, I never had left from Savannah to go anywhere. I was staying right, and Catherine never really go anywhere neither. She was right here in White Bluff. And so that's what she was my, like I say, contact person, communicate person, whatever you want to call it. That's what she was all about.
Would you guys have like class reunions or anything, or just?
Well, you mean like from Haven Home?
Yeah.
Well, like I was always a workaholic, and I never come out and join the things, any activities they were having. I never did participate, but I always know about it, like that. So, and that's how I got down here. At people said, "Why you go wear the white Bluff to the center?" I said, "Well, I go because I know everybody." And you feel comfortable being around people that you know. Because I'm right there on 31st and the Geechee Road. I can go right there to Fenori Center. And I can go in Cobble Village. But I prefer coming here where everybody, like I said, we all grew up together.
Yeah.
From the oldest to the youngest. Like Dorothy Baptiste and all them. We'd be all up in the other young lady that was in here earlier, well, Anthony Baptiste. We all of us grew up, but see, her sister and I, we was in class together. And see, we were the first class that graduated from Saul C. Johnson in 1961.
Okay.
Like that. So all of our sisters and their sisters were behind us. Like that. So, that's how that worked. And stuff. So, is there anything else?
Is there anything else? Is your house that you grew up in still standing over there in the?
No, baby, I wish it were. You know what? Where the house was at is right where that new subdivision has been built. That big, as you're coming down Countryside Drive, at the end, that big oak tree that sat there, that's where our house were.
Okay.
Like that, and because. When I came out of high school in 61 and 62, I told Dad, I said, well, you know how you say when you got older and stuff, I said, well, I'm going to move and I'm going to, come in town and stuff. I wanted to let him know that I can take care of myself and stuff like that. So I did. And so he always says, if you don't like it, you can always come back home like that. And so that's what I did. But right there where Pathway School at, and that new subdivision that built right going back towards LaRoche Avenue, that's where our house were, like that, and like I said, that's where it was at. So I wish I was still there, and things, but during that time. Then like I said, it was like my daddy and his two brothers, they owned that area. But down through the years, they lost the property. So therefore, Daddy had to move, he moved in town. So after I had my place, and we got a house on 56th off Montgomery Street, and I moved back in there with him and stuff like that. Because him and my mother was separated. It was about 62 or somewhere up in the area and stuff. So, because he said, well, y'all can go with your mom or stay here with me or thing like that. So, we went. Well, like I said, I still was home with him. I was already gone then. But my other sisters, they stayed there with him and stuff like that. So, well, like I said, it was a beautiful childhood life.
Yeah.
So anything else?
No, that's really great. It's interesting to hear more about Haven
School.
Home. Yeah, everybody here went there, so it's
everybody went to Haven Home. Because when Kathy first said, I said, Kathy, I don't want to go down here. And she said, well, you know how Kathy is. And she said, well, you can say you went to school with everybody, didn't you? I said, yeah. That's what I said. We all grew up together. And we are we was a happy family then, and we still a happy family now. So like I said, there's nothing else to say, but we have met up with great people. And from the age of I didn't start school, I was 7. So just from 7 to 81, that's a history. That's a long time to be up and down with in a family, and everybody still got that close connection, that love that runs from mind to mind, from heart to heart. So it's just a wonderful experience. and we have lost a lot of people, but God has spared our life to be a witness for what we came through from little children until older people. So, like I said, like Rachel lived across the street, and Dot, and all them, like I say, they were old enough, but we all went to school together. They were the big girls and we were the little girls. So, that's how it worked, like that. So.
Yeah, the theme of the day is strong community. So thanks
Yeah,
for sharing.
Well, they like to say, the more we get together, the happier we'll be, for my sake and your sake, and stuff. So, like I said, we all got to come together as one big happy family and stuff. And a lot of times, when you get up there, they can come from the ground, from the bottom, and then you keep moving up to the thing, and you move, and then when you get to the top, I don't know you. I don't want to sit by you. You didn't have this and you didn't have that. It's not that. It's together we stand, and divided we fall. So you have to thank God for from the early part of our life, from the time we were conceived into our mother's womb to up to this present time. They are all gone, but we are living off what? Their grace and their mercy that brought us through. All because of Him. And so, we just have to come out that way of I don't want to be with her, she ain't got this, and then she living in this house. I mean, God has been good to us. We still got our mind. We don't have, I mean, some may have forget something, but we're not in dementia. We thank God that we can get up in the morning, we can bathe ourselves. We're not in a care home. We're not in a nursing home. Don't know that we're in the world. Some people there don't even know you have to be turned over, Miss Brown. I got to change you. You wet. And because people at my age, your age, some of them are in that facility and stuff. Here we can walk, we can talk, we can sing, and things like that. We can cook for ourselves. So what more can we ask of life? Nothing. Just be thankful for what we have and things. Even from the young children, we teach them to say, be thankful for whatever your parents give you. Because I taught Sunday school, and I always tell my children, I say, when you go home, tell your mama I love you. Tell your daddy I love you. There's a child killing my feelings. See, a lot of times parents don't want to be bothered with kids, but you have to sit and listen to them just like we are sitting and listening to each other now. And let the children know that we are somebody. And we are God's special little people. So, I mean, what else that we can do? And stuff. So we have to go ahead and give God the grace and give Him the thanks from where we come from. And stuff. So, like I say, I came from an outhouse toilet to a bathroom and stuff like that. But you still had to clean it and stuff like that. And you had to get on your knees and scrub the floor and stuff and wash clothes and hang clothes up on the line. So, just think. And like I said, I done worked and I thank God that I own my house. I don't have to pay for it no more. And I thank God for the people that I work for, because weren't for them, they are of the ones that I had great people that I worked for and stuff. And then my last family that I worked for, I don't want for nothing. I thank God for everything. From the little to the small, for nothing at all, I thank God for it. So, that's it. There's nothing else to say. We just thank God for the thing. I mean, I could have went to college, but I didn't. If I wanted to learn how to bake a cake, I went to the cake school. I know how to decorate cakes. I worked in Food Town, and I went to school, learn how to make different things. Platters and things like that. Because once you get that foundation in school, you know how to do these things and stuff. Because the teacher's going to teach you how to set the table and everything. So, all that was taught at Haven Home.
That's a great,
and stuff. So that song said, take me back for the place where I first received it. Take me back when I know that you got to get on the floor and scrub the floor and stuff. And see now, the people, if you go to the job and say, you got to scrub around the baseboard, well, that's not a cleaning service. But people have these cleaning services because see, you know you got to wipe out the windowsills, do the blinds, and stuff. So you learn all that stuff at home and stuff like that, you know. So where else you want to know about Haven Home?
This sounds like I think this is a great place to end. We're right at a half an hour. So, no, this is a good information about Haven Home. So,
Yeah.
I'm really grateful for it.
Well, did I do a good job?
Yes, you did an awesome job.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right, I'm going to stop the recording now.